Hey guys, Jay here. Welcome to Models Memories Weekly, episode 186. Models Memories is a show about nothing and is filmed in front of a live studio audience. This is a show where I talk about my painting, modeling, and working experiences from the week. Now you might be thinking to yourself, Jay, you put out 3 activities a week. Could I possibly have more to say? Well, I do, and here goes. This week, Games Workshop showed off a ton of brand spanking new mini reveals, and it was doubly awesome because it was hilarious. The website, the brand new, beautiful Games Workshop community website, did not work at all. I have a little confession to make. I did not watch the Warhammer reveals live. Instead, I wanted to go on the website just to peruse the articles, and the website was down for like the whole day. And it's awesome because Games Workshop just put out their video with Mr. Warhammer himself doing like a funny little bit about how awesome the new website is. And the first time that it really needed to work, it did not. However, we eventually got those reveals, and they were something. And the big one is the new Kill Team box. Brutal and Cunning. Instead of Brutal Cunning, it's Brutal and Cunning. It is the Orcs versus the Ratlings. I love the Ratlings. They're super cool. I'm always trying to get Sean to buy Ratlings for his Imperial Guard army. Number one, because I think they're a fun unit that actually is pretty serviceable on the tabletop, but it is not a just rock, paper, scissors, my Ratlings destroy anything in your army. So he's not gonna take them. The Ratlings are adorable little hobbitses with sniper rifles, and they've got all of the classic Kill Team operatives. They've got Sniper Guy, they've got Knife Guy, they've got like Guy with a Radio Guy. They have all the classics, but they also have the little doggo, the Battle Mutt. I am super on board with Games Workshop always doing like a cute creature character in all of their like underbands, warbands, and their kill teams and stuff. Look at the little Battle Mutt. Oh, he's so good. Oh, I love that he's like a tiny little like Chihuahua pug thing, but he's like muscly, but he's tiny. He's absolutely adorable. Oh, he's so good. I really, really like the Ratlings. They look super fun. They look super cool. Probably going to be a kill team and a unit, or just replace the Ratling unit available for Warhammer 40,000. I don't know if I can say the same about the Orc Tank Bustas. The old Orc Tank Bustas were very nice models. Unfortunately, they were fine cast and you only got like one of each unique pose. You had like Rocket Pistol Guy, regular Rocket Launcher Guy. You had Rocket Hammer Guy, which was really funny. But the way it worked in 10th edition is you had to take one of each weapon type, and each weapon type was kind of suited for a different role. So it kind of made the squad worthless. And it seems like Games Workshop very faithfully recreated the Tank Bustas, adding one more operative, which is kind of neat, but maybe if the rules got a real revamp, or they just did something like have all of the weapons, have them be called like bomb weapons, so that all of the different unique stylings of the designs all operate under the same data sheet, because I played so much 40K this weekend. And the one thing that is so frustrating is different weapon profiles. It makes things take so long when every shooting phase, it's like, all right, gotta roll for the one melta gun. All right, gotta roll for the one plasma gun. All right, gotta roll for the one plasma pistol on the sergeant. All right, gotta roll for the 3 las guns. All right, gotta roll for the one heavy las cannon. It takes so long, and it doesn't add up to much. I do get why it's fun to have each weapon be kind of unique and special, and I do feel like I lose out on something in a game like Star Wars Legion, where the power of the squad is done using different types of dice. Like there's the bad shooting dice, the good shooting dice, and the awesome shooting dice. And so you get to have different combinations of those in your dice pool as you roll, depending on what squad you take. You do lose a little something with that, but the game can't take so long. The game can't take forever. So I don't know. I don't know how to fix 40K. I don't know if 40K is necessarily broken. It's just a little annoying sometimes. But speaking of sometimes, the Commemorative Warhammer figures are only available sometimes, and the new one is phenomenal because it's more Ratlings. It's a Ratling kind of taking a little hide behind a little bit of broken wall with his sniper, and then his buddy is just chowing down on some sausages. It is super fun, super unique. I love that inside of their ammo crate is like pies and meats and food. That's very Ratling because they're just hobbits, is what they are. It's a really, really nice little diorama. I like the dioramas a lot for one-off miniatures, especially because it kind of takes them out of the realm of like, well, if I'm a 40k player and I want like a cool, unique crypt deck or a cool, unique special character for my army, it'd be really nice to be able to buy this so that I have some uniqueness. Instead, it's a diorama. It's for people who want or like the diorama so that they can have a little fun, different painting experience and collecting experience. But everybody who's playing 40k competitively or just wants things for their army can kind of ignore it. I think it's a really nice balance. This model is super fun, and I just noticed he has a coffee mug on top of the wall, and his little coffee cup has a picture of the Imperial Aquila on it. Like, his coffee cup is branded for the horrible society that he lives in. It's just, it's really, really good. And speaking of really, really good, or at least really, really big, I guess really, really small big, Warhammer the Horus Heresy Legion Imperialis got a brand spankin' new model that I don't think has ever been featured in the lore before, but it's giant walker dudes. And this is awesome for a few reasons, but I still have one little issue with it, and that is that it's Legion's Imperialis. It's 30k, but this is exactly what I want to see from a small scale version of Warhammer 40k, because these giant walkers presumably are enormous and would not work well as actual minis. Even if they were plastic, giant spindly legs don't work amazingly in plastic and are basically they just don't function as resin. I think there's so many people out there with like Tyranid Hierophants with the 4 spindly little legs, and they don't really work very well. These are fantastic, and I love the idea of taking that small scale and using it to make some models that you couldn't really make any other way. These guys are fantastic. They remind me a lot of the tripods from that Tom Cruise movie, the War of the Worlds, but it kind of looks like they have 5 legs. Oh, maybe they have 6. Maybe that guy's just picking up his leg. I do like the idea of asymmetrical design in like creatures because it's not usually something that happens, but these guys are phenomenal, but it's 30k. The problem with 30k is we kind of know everything. I mean, we didn't know about the Adeptus Mechanicus. There'd be dragons over there. But for the Space Marines, and really for the Imperial Guard of the day, we kind of know everything available and that can be available, especially because it's in the novels and stuff. So there's not going to be a lot of really fun surprises, where if it was 40k, just scaled down quite a bit, it would be like you could do the Norn, or not the Norn emissary, what is it called? Like the Norn Mother, the overall leader of the Tyranids. You could have Orc Mega Gargants. You could have land trains for the Leagues of Votann. You could have whatever big weird stuff is hiding in the Space Marines. Like you could get really weird with it because you have that extra room because of the scale. But it's Legion Imperialis. It's neat. I would give it a try if I knew anybody who had the models. But I like these new guys. Honestly, these new guys would probably work really well as some proxy models for some Necrons, or maybe even like a Necromunda warband. If you just threw like a pilot seat on top of their weird heads, it would work pretty well. But speaking of working pretty well, there's some new stuff for Age of Sigmar in the Slaves to Darkness Codex, and a new Slaves to Darkness guy. Now, I'm not one for guys, but this is a pretty cool guy. He's not bad. I like that he's just kind of spooky. He's a little bit spooky, a little bit dooky. He's pretty good. He's really simple. And I like that. The Slaves to Darkness, they're almost so normal that they're boring. Like they do feel kind of like the opposite of the Stormcast Eternals. Like they're the chaos guys, but they don't really, I've just explained the entire faction. They're the chaos guys. Like the rats are fueled by the powers of chaos, and they're man rats, and they love cobbled together Rube Goldberg technologies and guns. The chaos guys, they got swords and sometimes an axe. Like, they don't have the juice. Just like the Stormcast Eternals are the golden, amazing, statuesque soldiers. But they're not as cool as time-traveling dinosaurs or like blood-crazed witches. Like, there's not as much juice to them as other factions. And it also doesn't help that the Slaves to Darkness Spearhead, I've played against it many times. It's rough. It is a hardcore turn 1 Alpha Strike Spearhead. and it is very tricky to play against, although I have beaten it twice. The new Slaves to Darkness Spearhead looks very similar to the current Slaves to Darkness Spearhead. It is 5 horsies, 2 squads of 10 dudes, and then 1 fancy taller dude to stand in the middle. And as soon as Sean saw this, he knew he had to have it because he collects any spearhead with horses because they're always the same spearhead. They just turn 1 charge you, hope to spike on their dice, and end the game turn 1. And of course, when Sean saw this, he's like, I have to play that. But speaking of have to play that, and speaking of Sean, this week I returned from Dragonfall, a Warhammer charity tournament, and I did pretty darn well. I played in the Spearhead tournament, and I won, and then I played 40k casuals, and I think I lost all but 1 game, but it was really fun. But in that tournament, well, there was a charity raffle event, and I want to let you guys in on a little bit of fun I had there. Nick, Sean, and myself all put a bunch of money into the raffles. They had a bunch of different prizes that were all like big bundles of miniatures. And so you put in your ticket for each one. And then at the end of the event, they shook up all of the baggies of tickets, pulled a random name, and that person won the entire like lot of each individual thing. And since Nick and Sean are lame and they left on Sunday, I was the only one there to pick up any potential winnings on that last day. And wouldn't you know it, Sean won the raffle for the historical wargaming bundle. Now, he doesn't know that yet, but I know he watches these videos. So the first place that he's gonna find out that he won is right here and right now. So what I need from you guys is to leave a comment about what you think of Sean winning the raffle. A big week of Warhammer reveals. It is really, really, really funny that the Warhammer website didn't work. And you know, that would never happen on EonsOfBattle.com. EonsOfBattle.com is the place to find our new merch, like the new Nick and Jay dice, and the best way to support us doing what we do with a membership. Each month, members will get a credit that they can use on our new monthly terrain packs or any previous pack we have ever made. For the month of October, we have expanded on our orc terrain with the Orc Rocket Factory. Fill your game boards with ramshackle walls and a grizzly gate with an explosive flare. Man the battlements of an orc's weapons workshop, absolutely dripping with bombs, rockets, and pointy missiles. This modular terrain is fully compatible with our previous orc brewery and the Octeris terrain and can be assembled into all sorts of shapes ready to detonate at a moment's notice. A really fun week of Warhammer reveals. I think the only thing that's really lighting a fire under me is the Ratling kill team, but I might hold out, actually I think I will hold out until they get separated and sold as standalone kits from Games Workshop, hopefully for less than $80. Thanks for watching.